welcome to my channel. I'm Bren. I have been going through an integrity series in which I've gone through a series of movies that sort of addressed a lot of issues of integrity, and today we are looking at Remains of the Day. We're just going to jump in and see how relevant this movie is on the other end. Let's take a look.
Dear Mr. Stevens, you will be surprised to hear from me after all this time. You have been in my thoughts ever since I heard that Lord Darlington had died.
Tearing down an old house is just not cool. One of the popular things to do is to watch all of these people rehabbing old houses, and the idea of tearing down a beautiful old house like this just sounds like a sin.
I was very relieved to read later on how an American millionaire named Lewis had saved Darlington Hall and that you were not to be turned out of your old home after all. Could it possibly be the same Congressman Lewis who attended his lordship's conference in 1936?
That is a beautiful house.
Oh, Mr. Stevens, I so often think of the good old days when I was the housekeeper at Darlington Hall. It was certainly hard work, and I have certainly known butlers easier to please than our Mr. Stevens. But I remember those years with you as among the happiest of my life. My own news is not very cheerful. In the 7 years since I last wrote to you, I have again left my husband, and sad to say, my marriage seems to be finally over.
A lot of ghosts around this residence.
Ever since Catherine, my daughter, got married last year, my life has been empty.
So you're kind enough to suggest that I go on a little holiday. Take a trip around the country.
Absolutely. Certainly. Take a break. See the world.
Thanks, sir. Well, I had intended to travel to the West Country, where I understand we have some splendid scenery. And I might incidentally be able to solve our staff problems while I'm in that part of the world. Former housekeeper, at present living in Clevedon, has indicated to me, sir, that she might be prepared to return to service.
What's this, your girlfriend? I was just kidding, Stevens.
Yes, sir?
Sorry.
Yeah. Definite culture clash between the American spirit and the old British traditional. That's a beautiful car. Look at that. Wow.
Dear Mrs. Ben, I propose to reach Clevedon on Thursday, the 3rd of October, around 4 p.m. My new employer is indeed Congressman Lewis, though he is now retired from political life in the United States.
Congressman.
He's already taken up residence at Darlington Hall and will soon be joined by his family. But I regret to say we are woefully understaffed for a house this size.
Okay, so we have an upstairs, downstairs story.
I well remember your first arrival at Darlington Hall.
The great manor house, obviously, you'd have to have a full-time guy just to take care of the house.
I fear I may have been a little unwelcoming at first, even a little short. You presented the most excellent references that I have ever seen, which proved to be well-deserved indeed. Although I confess I did have my doubts
Thompson.
on account of your youth. Well, no gentleman call is allowed, of course. You will forgive my mentioning it, but we have had problems of that sort before, from inside the house, too.
I know from my own experience how a house is at 6s and 7s once the staff start marrying each other.
Yes, indeed. My lord, it's regarding the under-butler and the housekeeper who ran off together last month.
Yeah. Bad business. How are you managing?
I believe I found 2 first-rate replacements, sir. Miss Kenton. This is my father, sir.
Really? Well, couldn't do better, I'm sure. Well, I'd like to see him sometime.
Nepotism, the other
He's
way.
outside the...
Mr. Stevens, how do you do?
My lord.
Very good man here, your son. He does the house great service. I don't know what we'd do without him. Proud of him, are you?
Very proud, my lord.
The challenge on this one, of course, is that it's easy to hire for nepotism, but if you end up having to fire your own father for, say, dying on the job, that's a problem.
Mr. Stevens, I thought these might brighten your parlour a little.
But I regard this room as my private place of work, and I prefer to keep distractions to a minimum.
Would you call flowers a distraction then, Mr. Stevens?
Well, since you are here, there is a matter I wanted to mention to you just a small matter. I happened to be walking past the kitchen yesterday morning, and I heard you calling to someone named William.
Why, Mr. Stevens, I should think I was addressing your father.
Oh. May I ask you in future, Miss Kenton, to address my father as Mr. Stevens?
In other houses, I was accustomed to address the underservants by their Christian names.
Would realize that how inappropriate it is for one such as yourself to address as William someone such as my father.
Well, I'm sure, Mr. Stevens, it must have been very galling for your father to be called William by one such as myself.
I might point out that you're still often unsure of what goes where and which item is which.
Yes, but he's a new employee
I'm
as
sure
well.
Mr. Stevens Sr. is very good at his job. But I can assure you, Mr. Stevens, that I'm very good at mine.
Oh, of course.
Thank you. And now, if you will, please excuse me.
I believe we have our central problem in the story in dealing with his character and the way he relates to people.
I wonder if you realize what it really takes to be a great butler. A great butler must be possessed of dignity.
In keeping with his position. There was this English butler
Dignity.
in India. One day, he goes in the dining room, and what's he see under the table? A tiger. Not telling her how, he goes straight to the drawing room. Excuse me, my lord. And whispering so as not to upset the ladies. I'm very sorry, my lord, there appears to be a tiger in the dining room. Perhaps his lordship will permit use of the 12 boars. They go on drinking their tea, and then the 3 gunshots. He says, cool as a cucumber. Dinner will be served at the usual time, my lord. And I'm pleased to say there will be no discernible traces left of the recent occurrence by that time. There will be no discernible traces.
Perhaps with a little bit of blood spatter across him like
For you, Mr. Stevens.
Dexter.
Thank you.
It's for Mr. Stevens Sr., Mr. Stevens.
It's nice to have hidden rooms around. But he did leave the broom in the hallway. That's probably not the right thing.
Mr. Stevens,
Yes?
if you are searching for your dustpan, it is outside on the landing.
My dustpan?
Your dustpan. You've left it on the landing.
I haven't been using a dustpan, miss.
Oh, really? Then it must have been somebody else.
I don't follow you.
My mistake, no doubt. One of many.
Okay, passive-aggressive behavior from Miss Kenton. Very nice.
Morning, sir.
But DuPont is fanatically anti-German. I remember a speech he gave in Geneva in '33 that made me ashamed to be seen as an ally of the French. I mean to say, it's not the English way of carrying on.
No, it is not. And it is precisely the purpose of our conference to discuss these matters informally, far away from the to-do of a large international conference, here in the friendly and relaxed atmosphere of one's home. We may have a chance to bring round others like the French to our point of view.
And that of the Germans.
And that of the Germans.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I just don't see how we can associate ourselves now with the Germans, you know, with the Nazi Party. They have actually torn up and trampled on every single treaty and seem to be a worse threat than ever to the whole of Europe, not to mention their brutal dictatorship at home.
My dear boy, when I was in Berlin, I saw at last a happy German people with jobs and bread, and pride in their country, and love of their leader.
And what about the Jews?
All right, Hugh Grant and Emma Thompson together
Mr.
again.
Stevens, was
Or
it his
maybe for the
lordship's
first time.
wish that the Chinaman from the cabinet room should be exchanged with the one outside the door? Think it might be a fantasy? A fantasy on my part, due to my inexperience?
I'm busy in this room, Miss Kenton.
I believe she is looking for an apology. Okay, two can play the passive-aggressive game. Very lovely.
Look at it! Is that or is it not the wrong Chinaman?
Miss Kenton, I'm very busy, and I'm surprised that you have nothing better to do than stand around all day.
Mr. Stevens, look at that Chinaman and tell me the truth.
It is a small mistake, trivial mistake.
Your father is entrusted with more than a man of his age can cope with. I'm concerned for him.
Please let me pass.
Mr. Stevens, Mr. Stevens.
There it is.
It was your father who left the dustpan in the middle of the floor. It is he who is leaving polish on the cutlery. It is he who has confused the Chinaman. You must recognize this before he commits a major error.
I'm afraid you can't talk to me like this, Miss Kenton.
I'm afraid I must, Mr. Stevens.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Oh, my Lord. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Your father feeling better?
Yes, he's made a full recovery, I'm happy to say, sir.
Good. But none of us wish to see anything of that sort ever happen again, do we? And what happens within this house during the conference could have considerable repercussions on the whole course that Europe is taking.
Yes.
Yes, it means a great deal. I had a German friend. We always said when this wretched business is over, we'll sit down and have a drink together, like gentlemen. The Versailles Treaty made a liar of me. The terms that we, the victor, imposed were so harsh that Germany was simply finished. Couldn't get a job in post-war Germany. Killed himself. Well, ever since that time, I felt it my duty, my job, Stevens, to hold out a helping hand to Germany. Give her a fair chance. So you see, Stevens, this conference is crucial, and we really can't run the risk of any accidents. Look here, there's no question of your father leaving us. He was simply being asked to reconsider his duties.
Of course, my lord.
Okay, we've just put dignity on the world stage now, because it's actually very well known that we, as many historians would have said, if you had been a little bit more gracious with Germany at the Treaty of Versailles, we wouldn't have had World War II. And in keeping with his dignity, you kind of wonder why he didn't sort of self-censor on this and start saying, you know,
Sir?
I'm not quite as good as I used to be on certain things.
Tonight. I can use you in the survey, all right?
Oh, but not for 2 hours.
That's not much sleep.
It's all the sleep I need.
It has been suggested that you no longer wait at table.
I've waited at table every day for the last 54 years.
It has also been decided that you should no longer carry heavy trays. Now, here's a revised list of your duties. The mops and, here.
Oh, these are my mops.
Right. Your brushes.
My brushes.
Yes.
My mops.
Right.
What do you want me to do with them?
History could well be made under this roof over the next few days. You can, each and every one of you, take great pride in the role you will play on this momentous occasion. Imagine yourself the head of a battalion.
We're definitely seeing an issue of indignity versus integrity. But there is the appearance of a well-managed and functioning world and the integrity, the reality of that world.
Stevens, I realize this is a somewhat irregular thing to ask you to do. You are familiar, I take it, with the facts of life? Look here, there's no need to make a song and dance of it. Just convey the basic facts and be done with it.
Okay, I don't know what direction this is going in, but it's a moment of comedy.
Oh, God, Stevens! But I do have something to convey to you rather urgently, sir, and if I may be permitted, I'll come straight to the point. Perhaps you will have noticed this morning, sir, the ducks and the geese by the pond.
Ducks and geese. No, I don't think so, Stevens.
Well, perhaps what I'm trying to say, sir, is that with the arrival of spring, we shall see a most remarkable and profound change in all these surroundings, sir.
Yeah, I'm sure that's right. I'm sure the grounds are not at their best just now.
No, sir.
But I have to say, I wasn't really paying much attention to the old glories of nature, because it's all rather worrying. You know, Dupont d'Ivry has just arrived in the foulest mood imaginable, which is the last things anyone wants.
I have sore feet, so I need a basin with warm water and salt, please.
Je suis très content de faire votre connaissance. For me, I'm Jack Lewis, the U.S. delegate, and Wonder if we could speak privately as soon as possible. Things are not moving in a direction that I think you would entirely approve of.
This really is a gorgeous
German
house.
rearmament is an accomplished fact, to be accepted. It is in our own interest to have a free, equal, and strong Germany.
To assist Germany in her virile struggle for economic recovery, quality of armaments, and universal military service for German youth.
Now, you heard all that in there about equality of armaments for Germany and universal military service.
Mr. Stevens?
Thank you, Charles.
Oh yeah, he's done.
Uh-huh.
You have certain sort of thematical buckets that are being developed here. We definitely have dignity and integrity, but there's also propriety and humanity. People seem to be confusing one for the other.
Ah, yes. Hello,
The
your father's not so good.
the Lord of the House is definitely
Thank you.
a person of humanity.
If he deteriorates, call me, will you?
The Lord of the House is always dealing in terms of relationship with people, which is very interesting. He's usually, you know, the person of, you know, the dignity and propriety and all of that. Whereas, no, it's Stevens, the butler, our Anthony Hopkins character, doing that. And the American, of course, is the realist. The French seem to be, I'm not really sure where he lands. He may be just sort of representative of France before World War II, being a bit oblivious to the dangers involved with the Nazis.
Is everything in hand downstairs?
Oh, yes.
There's something I have to tell you.
I have so much to do, Father. Why don't we talk in the morning?
Jim, I fell out of love with your mother. I loved her once. But love went out of me. And I found her carrying on. I hope I've been a good father to you. You better get down there. Or heaven only knows what they'll be up to.
Goodwill for Germany. And with tears in my eyes, I see that everyone here has recognized our right to be once again a strong nation. Germany needs peace and desires only peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, the United States doesn't want war, any more than you do. On the other hand, neither would we care for peace at any price. Lord Darlington, Lord Darlington is a classic English gentleman of the old school. Decent and honorable and well-meaning. But, now excuse me, I have to say this. You are, all of you, amateurs. And international affairs should never be run by gentlemen amateurs. The days when you could just act out of your noble instincts are over. Europe has become the arena of realpolitik, the real politics. And what you need is not gentlemen politicians, but real ones. You need professionals to run your affairs, or you're headed for disaster. So I propose a toast, gentlemen, to the professionals.
Well, I've no wish to enter into a quarrel on this, our last evening together. But let me say this. What you describe as amateurism is what I think most of us here still prefer to call honor.
Mr. Stevens, I'm very sorry. Your father passed away 4 minutes ago.
I'm very busy at the moment, Miss Kenton. In a little while, perhaps. Miss Kenton,
Yes.
my father would wish me to carry on with my work. I can't let him down.
Interesting how they reshifted the values, amateurism versus professionalism.
Steve, you're right. Yes, I'm perfectly all right, thank you. Not feeling unwell. No, so a little tired, perhaps.
I just wanted to say I hope there's no hard feelings, sir.
Oh, my dear good chap. Ah, I like a good, clean fight. Yes. Giving as good as one gets, what?
I want you to know I have the greatest respect for the English, sir. I love it over here. In fact, my family used to bring us here as kids, so I've always felt right at home. Anyway, thank you. Excuse me.
You right, Stevens?
Yes, perfectly, my lord.
You coming down with a cold or something?
Yes, it's Been a long day.
Yes, it's been a hard day for both of us.
Yes, sir.
Well done.
Thanks.
Darling. My condolences, Stevens. It was a stroke.
Doctor, there's a distinguished foreign gentleman in the billiard room in need of attention.
Urgent?
His feet.
Feet. If it's urgent.
Yes, it is urgent. The gentleman is in pain.
My condolences.
Thank you, Miss Kenton. It is most kind of you.
Yeah, it's a great little collision that you're dealing with. You've got all of this propriety and dignity and all of these other, lofty words, and they forget what it was designed to facilitate, which is our humanity. The propriety seems to be overrunning that at the moment.
And you'd be coming from?
Darlington.
Rings a bell. Wasn't there a Lord Darlington, some sort of Nazi, got us in the war, they say?
Uh-oh.
I'm the butler at Darlington Hall, and my employer is Mr. Lewis, an American gentleman.
Oh, yeah?
I had no acquaintance with the former owner.
Did you check?
Oh. No dignitaries this time.
We are very grateful to you, my lord, for letting us come here. Our parents are very grateful.
Not at all. Not at all. Miss Kenton will look after you.
Gentlemen, you speak of Jews and gypsies, Negroes, so on and so forth. But one has to regard the racial laws of the fascists as a sanitary measure, much overdue, in my opinion. But cannot run a country without a penal system. Here we call them prisons, over there they call them concentration camps. What's the difference in this soup?
No, sir, I think it's mushroom stock.
Copious death, I think. Lack of humanity.
I hear you have one of those Labour fellows standing from your constituency.
Over there, correct me if I'm wrong, Sir Geoffrey, they've got rid of all that trade union rubbish. Believe me, no workers strike in Germany. And everyone's kept in line.
It's no wonder this country is going down the drain.
In my philosophy, Mr. Ben, a man cannot call himself well-contented until he has done all he can to be of service to his employer. Of course, this assumes that one's employer is a superior person, not only in rank or wealth, but in moral stature.
And in your opinion, what's going on up there has moral stature, does it? Wish I could be so sure. Would you be joining us for a drink?
Oh, thank you very much, but it's very late and I have an early start. Good night.
Good-looking woman. Miss Kenton. It was never the same after she left Stanton Lacey. I handed in my own notice 6 months later.
I'd be lost without her. A first-rate housekeeper is essential in a house like this where great affairs are decided.
Stevens.
Yes, Lord.
We have some refugee girls on the staff at the moment, I believe.
We do, my lord.
You'll have to let them go, I'm afraid.
They work extremely well. They're intelligent, polite, and very clean.
I'm sorry, Stevens, but I've looked into this matter very carefully. There are larger issues at stake. I'm sorry, but there it is. They're Jews.
I'm amazed that you can stand there as if you were just discussing orders for the larder. I simply can't believe it. You're saying that Elsa and Irma are to be dismissed because they're Jewish.
His lordship has made his decision. There is nothing for you and I to discuss.
You realize that if those girls have no work, they could be sent back to Germany.
It is out of our hands.
I'm telling you, Mr. Stevens, if you dismiss my girls tomorrow, it will be wrong. A sin. As any sin ever was one.
Miss Kenton, there are many things you and I don't understand in this world of today, whereas his lordship understands fully and has studied the larger issues at stake concerning, say, the nature
it is the
of
question
Jewry.
of propriety for a man who is becoming naive about the dangers
Mr.
of
Stevens,
Nazism.
if those girls go, I shall leave this house.
Oh, Miss Kenton.
The third way is to find another place of employment for them.
Now, why exactly did you leave your last employment?
They didn't want me anymore.
Well, why not?
I don't know.
They say she works well.
Would you please wait outside? She's unsuitable.
Not at all.
What?
I want her. She'll be under my supervision.
She's not suitable.
She'll do well. I'll see to it.
Didn't you say you were leaving because of the German girls?
I'm not leaving.
Oh?
I've nowhere to go. I have no family.
There it is.
I'm a coward.
No, no.
Yes, I am a coward.
I'm frightened of leaving, and that's the truth. All I see out in the world is loneliness, and it frightens me. That's all my high principles are worth, Mr. Stevens. I'm ashamed of myself.
Well, that's a beautiful bit of humanity.
Miss Kenton, you mean a great deal to this house.
Okay, if we could sit on this Miss Kenton moment just for a second. I absolutely love this scene because it is just a little bit of humanity that we were lacking in the story. There's a lot about doing your duty and getting the things done, and we're going to just, sacrifice Dad to make sure that we fill the position and things don't fall through. And even if he dies, we're just going to keep working. But this is the place where the staff, in Miss Kenton sort of representing that, just decides, no, this is wrong. And we have to stop and talk about this. And I absolutely love the humanity in this scene. This is the sense of the shame that she feels, that she's like, look, the world is a lonely place, and she's scared to sacrifice her post for her ideals. I just think it's just sort of a beautiful bit of the reason people watch reaction channels is because you're not really looking for the yearbook answer on the questions of the story. You're looking for a real bit of honest humanity from a story. And I think this is a really honest moment that works toward developing her character and furthering the central conflict of this story, which is just trying to deal with Stevens, of finding his humanity while trying to get his work done. Anyway, let's get back to the story.
You're extremely important to this house, Miss Kenton. Yes. Now, look here. If you're really sure about this young woman, you'd better call her back in.
I don't think we've had the full story on Miss Hall, though.
Miss Hall, we would like you to start next week.
The question of unsuitability for her may be that she is too pretty, depending upon the lords of the house and how they view her. If she's too pretty a maid, you may end up with shenanigans you don't want in the house.
Mr. Spencer would like a word with you.
Sir. Do you suppose the debt situation regarding America is a significant factor in the present low levels of trade? Or do you suppose this is a red herring, and that the abandonment of the gold standard is at the root of the problem?
I'm sorry, sir, but I'm unable to be of assistance in this matter.
Oh dear, what a pity. Well, perhaps you can help us on another matter. Do you share our opinion that Monsieur de Lardier's recent speech on the situation in North Africa was simply a ruse to scupper the nationalist fringe of his own domestic party?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm unable to be of assistance in any of these matters.
You see, gentlemen, our good man here is unable to assist us in these matters. And yet, we still go along with the notion that this nation's decisions be left in the hands of our good man here and a few millions like him.
Back when the British thought that they could lecture the world on policy. See, the question of the vote and the question of foreign relations are different topics.
I hope you don't think me very rude, but, you aren't a manservant of some sort, are you?
Yes, sir, I am indeed. In fact, I'm the butler of Darlington Hall near Oxford.
Wasn't there a Lord Darlington involved in all that appeasement business that got us into the war?
Sorry, sir, I never knew that, Lord Darlington. My employer is an American gentleman, Mr. Lewis.
Yes, Lord Darlington was among those who tried to make a deal with Hitler. And then there was a case after the war where he sued a newspaper for libel. Anyway, he lost. He was lucky, really, not to have been tried for treason.
So I must confess that I failed to tell you the truth. I did know Lord Darlington, and I can declare that he was a truly good man, a gentleman through and through, to whom I'm proud to have given my best years of service.
But did you share his opinions?
Well, I was his butler. I was there to serve him, not to agree or disagree. But at the end of his life, his lordship himself admitted that he'd been mistaken, that he'd been too gullible and had let himself be taken in.
I'm intrigued. I mean, where do you stand on all that? If a mistake was to be made,
wouldn't you rather have made your own?
See, in a very small way, I did make my own mistake. But I might still have a chance to set mine right. In fact, I'm on my way to try and do so now.
This indeed is a period piece. Had this happened in, say, Chicago today, he would have gotten an earful of all of, like, oh, you were part of that and responsible for it because you didn't do something at the time.
Oh, Stevens, I've been meaning to ask you. That business last year about the Jewish maids, I suppose there's no way of tracing them, is there?
Well, that would be difficult, sir. I tried to obtain a position for them in a house in Surrey. There was room only for one, and the girls didn't want to be separated, sir.
Well, try anyway, Stevens. One would like to do something for them.
Yes, sir.
It was wrong, what occurred. I'm sorry about it. Very sorry.
Yes, his lordship asked about the Jewish girls.
Elsa and Irma?
Yes, he wondered where they were. He said it was wrong to dismiss them. I thought you'd like to know because I remember you were as distressed as I was about it.
As you were? As I recall, you thought it was only right and proper that they should be sent packing.
Of course I was upset, very much so. I don't like to see that sort of thing happening in this house.
Well, I wish you'd told me so at the time. It would have helped me a great deal if I'd known you felt the same way as I did. Why? Why, Mr. Stevens? Why do you always have to hide what you feel?
Miss Kenton.
Good.
All right. Yes, I take my hat off to you, Miss Kenton. That girl has come along very well.
Look at that smile on your face. That tells an interesting story in itself. Wouldn't you say so, Mrs. Stevens? You don't like to have pretty girls on the staff, I've noticed.
Might it be that our Mr. Stevens fears distraction? Can it be that our Mr. Stevens is flesh and blood after all and cannot trust him?
You know what I'm doing, Miss Kenton? I'm placing my thoughts elsewhere while you chatter away.
Then why is that guilty smile still on your face?
Oh, it's not a guilty smile. Simply amused by the sheer nonsense you sometimes talk.
It is a guilty smile. You can hardly bear to look at her. That's why you didn't want to take her on. She was too pretty.
Well, you must be right, Miss Kenton. Wolves are.
Charlie.
You're reading.
Yeah.
Very dim in here. Can you see?
Yes, thank you.
What are you reading?
A book.
Are you shy about your book?
No.
Are you reading a racy book? Let me see it. Let me see your book.
Please leave me alone, Miss Kenton.
Why won't you show me your book? I'm invading your private time, am I?
Yes.
Let me see it. It's not scandalous at all. It's just a sentimental old love story.
I read these books to develop my command and knowledge of the English language.
I'm sure it's just for that.
To further my education, Miss Kenton. I really must ask you, please, not to disturb the few moments I have to myself.
The purpose of furthering his education is for what, exactly?
I'm wanting to give him my notice, Miss Kenton. Charlie and me, we're getting married.
Oh, Lizzie.
Is Charlie leaving too? I mean, if so, are they going to live on his salary? Or they could just run off and get married and
We did all
show
we
up
could
on
for them.
Monday as usual.
I told him I had my eye on him as a possible under-butler in a year or so, but, no, Mr. Charlie knows best.
I'm tired, Mr. Stevens. I've had a very busy day. Don't you realise that? I'm very, very tired. Don't you understand?
Our meetings are a burden after a long day's work. Perhaps we'd better discontinue them.
No, really, they're very useful. It was only tonight.
I thank you for the cocoa.
I shall be taking my day off tomorrow. I'll be back in the house by 9:30.
It's obvious that he didn't take the hint.
No, I'm glad to be out of it, I can tell you. Look, if I don't like something, I want to be in a position to say stuff it. If you'll pardon the expression, Miss Kenton. But then I suppose I'm not a real professional, like Mr. Stevens. Down in the West Country, where I come from, Clevedon. It's a good place for a boarding house, by the sea.
Interesting split between how they're defining amateur and professional. They did that on the macro level as well.
Is it your intention to remain in service?
It's a good profession.
Supposing someone was to ask you if you'd like to come in on a small boarding house by the sea.
Aren't you supposed to take off your hat when you're kissing?
Very late.
When you go in for the kiss, you're supposed to kind of doff the hat. It's such a beautiful film. I had so much fun with all of the colors, textures, lighting.
How are you?
Very well, sir.
Do you think his lordship would put me up for the night?
I'll tell him you're here, sir.
Thanks. You're looking very smart. I hope there's nothing special on tonight.
His lordship is expecting some gentlemen to call out to dinner, sir.
Who's he expecting tonight?
I am unable to help you there, sir.
What? No idea?
No idea at all, sir.
Such a grand house that you can
Miss
just
Kenton.
show up and not even be
Mr.
noticed.
Cardinal has just arrived, out of the blue. He'll be expecting his usual room tonight.
I shall see to it before I leave.
Oh, you're going out this evening?
I am indeed. It's Thursday. I have something to tell you, Mr. Ben.
Oh, yes, Mr. Ben, of course, yes.
He has asked me to marry him. He's moving back to the West Country next month. I'm still thinking about it. I thought you should be informed of the situation.
Yes, sir, thank you. Well,
I mean, she gave him every opportunity. I mean, you know, she could hit him with a frying pan. I don't know if that would have been any more impactful.
Your visitors tonight, are they special?
Can't tell you, my boy. Strictly confidential. Can't have someone like you sticking your nose in. Journalist? What do you call it? News hound? Once you've had your food, you better make yourself scarce.
Good evening, Prime Minister. How are you?
Please wait here, Your Excellency. I'll inform his lordship.
We don't intend to involve the whole British Empire in a war.
But you will not allow a small, second-rate country to thumb its nose at the 1,000-year German Reich.
Could you confirm that this lady is on the staff here, sir?
Yes, of course. She's the housekeeper, Miss Kenton.
Thank you, sir.
May I?
Of course, miss. Sorry to have alarmed you. Just security, miss.
I accepted his proposal.
Miss Kenton?
I accepted Mr. Ben's proposal of marriage.
My congratulations.
I am prepared to serve out my notice, but if you were able to release me earlier, I would be grateful. Mr. Ben is planning to leave for the West Country in 2 weeks' time.
I'll do my best. Now, please excuse me.
Mr. Stevens?
Yes?
Am I to take it that after all the years I have been in this house, you have nothing else to say to me?
You have my warmest congratulations.
Did you know you have been a very important figure for Mr. Ben and me?
Oh, in what way?
I tell him all sorts of things about you. I tell him stories about you, about your habits, about your mannerisms. He finds it very funny, especially when I show him how you pinch your nose when you put pepper on your food. That always has us in stitches.
You're just trying to get a rise out of him now.
Excuse me, Miss Kenton.
This film makes a romantic of us all. After a while, you're just kind of like, look, I know it's important to have opinions against Nazis and fascists and all these people.
We've been friends a long time, haven't we?
Walking down this
I
Darlington
always look forward to a
road.
little chat when I come down here.
And at some point, you're just going to go, look, she's
care
a
to
pretty
join me?
girl and she loves you, you idiot.
Not feeling unwell, are you?
No. A little tired, perhaps.
Yeah, I bet you are tired. What is it, about 1 o'clock? Over in the library, it's all right, you don't have to confirm it, are our Prime Minister, our Foreign Secretary, and the German Ambassador. Any idea what they're talking about in there?
I'm afraid not.
Tell me, Stevens, don't you care at all? I mean, aren't you in the least bit curious?
It is not my place to be curious about such...
Supposing I told you that his lordship is presently trying to persuade the Prime Minister to enter into a pact with that bunch of criminals in Berlin.
I'm certain his lordship is acting from the highest and noblest motives, sir.
But don't you see, that's exactly what makes it so abominable. That they should take these high and noble motives and twist them to their own foul ends. You do, please, realize that his lordship's been the most valuable pawn that the Nazis have in this country over the last few years, precisely because he is good and honourable. He's being tricked, Stevens. Don't you see what's going on here? Are you as deluded as he is?
Sorry.
Oh, dear,
He
no,
has
I probably read it
compartmentalized so thoroughly and
No, not at
effectively.
all, sir. Well, sir, you must excuse me.
Yeah.
Mr. Stevens,
Yes?
you mustn't take anything I said to heart.
Miss Kenton, I haven't taken anything you said to heart. In fact, I can hardly recall anything you did say.
I was just being very foolish.
I simply haven't time to stand here with you engaging in idle talk, Miss Kenton. I suggest you go to bed now. You must be very tired. Oh, damn it!
She has given him some humanity, but just not quite enough to break through.
Miss Kenton?
Yes, Mrs. Stevens.
He's like a wind-up toy in some way.
Hello, Sally.
Tom?
I saw Catherine yesterday. She's expecting.
Oh, my goodness.
Miss Kenton. I'm sorry, Mrs.
Stevens,
Bennet.
I'm sorry. I was delayed.
I know you remember Darlington Hall in its best days, and that's how his lordship deserves to be remembered, of course. But, and perhaps the good days are starting again now that Mr. Lewis has taken up residence and Mrs. Lewis is expected to arrive from America shortly.
Very fortunate to have you there to run the house for them. I'll tell you frankly, Mr. Stevens, I had been thinking of going back in service.
Good.
But now the situation has changed for me, because if I take up any work, it will have to be here in the West Country, because you see, Catherine, our daughter, is expecting a baby. And so, of course, I would like to be near her, of course, and then to be near our grandchild as he grows up.
There it goes.
When I first left Darlington Hall, all those years ago, I never realized I was really, truly leaving. I believe I thought of it as simply another ruse, Mr. Stevens, to annoy you. It was a shock to come out here and find myself actually married. For a long time, I was very unhappy. But then Catherine was born, the years went by, and one day I realized I loved my husband. You see, there is no one, Mr. Stevens, no one in the world who needs me as much as he does. But still, there are times when I think what a terrible mistake I've made with my life.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we all have these thoughts from time to time.
And now there's nothing to talk about.
But for a great many people, the evening's the best part of the day. What do you most look forward to, Mr. Stevens?
Getting back to Darlington Hall, principally, and straightening out our staff problems. Always was work, work and more work. And will continue to be so, I have no doubt. You must take good care of yourself, Mrs. Benn.
You too, Mr. Stevens. Promise me that.
Oh, yes, I promise. You must try to do all you can to make these years happy ones for yourself and for your husband. We may never meet again, Mrs. Benn. That is why I'm permitting myself to be so personal, if you will forgive me.
Well, if you're going to permit yourself that one time, you could do better than just take care of yourself. You must take care of yourself. Be a husband.
Thank you, Mr. Stevens, and thank you so very much for coming. It was so very kind of you. It was so nice to see you again.
It was a pleasure to see you again, Mrs. Benn. Goodbye. Take care. Also, I'm expecting a possible new housekeeper this afternoon. It's Mrs. Ruth Muspratt. Some excellent references.
Now, this is where we had that banquet back in '35, remember? We all stood up and delivered ourselves of our principles. God knows what I said. Sure got worked up about it, though. What did I say anyway, Stevens?
I'm sorry, sir. I was too busy serving.
Well, come on. Hey.
Well done.
There you go.
Well done, sir.
Well, there it is. The Remains of the Day. It was a lovely film. So I actually had to step away and take a couple days and think about this. My immediate response was just so long-winded and rambling, I decided you really did need a little bit of paring down of my thoughts. It is an excellent film. It is very well acted, directed, beautifully shot. I just love all parts of the the tactile nature of everything. They use lighting and color and so forth. Very well done. From a writing perspective, I think it's extraordinarily well developed and tight for the amount of things that go on. There's very little fat on this script, and so kudos to everybody that put this together. It is also a very human film, that it does not feel like the characters are sort of ciphers for a writer's ideas and such, but as I'll unpack, I feel like they are. But you don't feel that because of the way they compose a scene and they put things together so beautifully. One of the aspects that I think stood out for me is how the upstairs folk, Lord Darlington and the people around that, they're the ones that are more inclusive and they're sympathetic, and they talk with the staff, and there's even the comic scene about getting Stevens to tell Cardinal about the birds and the bees and so forth. So the upstairs people, who you would think would be these stuffy elites, aren't stuffy, and they're not elites. Sort of the opposite of what we've come to believe, while the downstairs people are very status conscious. And stay in their place, and no, we do our work and then we leave and so forth. What I really loved, and just brilliant work is the work with Miss Kenton versus Stevens, in that they are representatives of the two ideas that are struggling in this. You have on the one hand our desire as humans to be useful, to be in service, to work on something greater than ourselves, to do our duty, and to be good at our jobs, right? To find fulfillment in our jobs, versus Miss Kenton, who's all of those things, but she wants her humanity as well. She wants happiness. You can't do both. Which do you want? And of course, for the modern audience, we expect that the hero is going to do both. But in this story, you can't do both. It is a true dilemma where you have to either pick your happiness from a personal side of things or your professional side of things. And that, I think, is really that tension that makes this such a human work, that I think is worthy of note. However, in looking at that, there really is something the matter with Stevens. I mean, at some point I was just like, he's like a wind-up toy, because he is so focused on his work that he has sort of scrubbed every bit of humanity out of, it makes him a bad manager because he's not able to work through these types of things. And what made it such a beautiful human moment to have Miss Kenton interfere in his personal space and to try to, get up into his grill and find out what he's reading and all of that. It's a very, tender scene. But on the flip side of that, you're looking at it like, what is he reading this sentimental love story for, really? Because it's not about education. There is an unspoken thing going on. There is something that he is longing for but is unable to ask for. And we don't get enough background. We don't see any sort of ghost that's haunting him in the story to figure this out. He's just this weird conundrum that is never unpacked for us. And that was one of the things that I was struggling with as I was looking at the story. That was a part of his character that was never flushed out. And I think that we kind of deserved a little more. on that. And the other thing, and this is the thing that I wrestled with, as I was going through this story, and I was starting to feel this weight of what the remains of the day is really trying to get to. I said, have I experienced this before? And sure enough, as it turns out, The Remains of the Day was written by Katsuo Ishiguro, who is a Japanese man raised in a British society. And my first interaction with him was with another movie that he wrote called Never Let Me Go. I saw a pre-screening of it in Hollywood, and I remember I just felt terrible by the end of the movie, and actually, came back over the hill into Burbank and had to pull over my car, and I just cried in the car for a while, because what you feel at the end of that, I mean, if you thought Remains of the Day was sad, Never Let Me Go is devastating. It took me a while to get over that movie. The thing of it is a world I simply refuse to live in. This guy has to be depressed because it is in his story here. He's not dealing simply with the idea that you can be good at your job or you can find personal happiness. He is expressing the fact that they're both futile enterprises. There is, I was sitting there throughout the story going, okay, this is about integrity, it's about nobility, it's about, all of these things. What I missed was the futility of the entire thing. As you look at the film again, you realize that, Lizzie and Charlie, who, the young servants that get in love, they have to leave the service. They have to leave their jobs in order for love, and then they disappear from the movie. We never find out if they succeed. They never get a new sort of thing or what. You look at Miss Kenton, who leaves. She gets married for love, fails in creating the boarding house and the other thing. The marriage falls apart. She sticks around because her daughter has a child, and she suddenly has the grandmother duty to take over that. She has a certain amount of, she finds that she loves her husband, but does she? When you break this down, the people that sort of got away from this concept that you have to sacrifice your professional duty to have happiness, right? They didn't find happiness either. And the people that stayed in their duty weren't fulfilled in their duty because there's still that longing for something else. And that is just a strange dynamic that they just won't let you get around in this. It is a world where you can sin, but there's no redemption. And that's what I really struggled with this story, that I had to sort of walk around the block a few times and think through, because it becomes a lie. In some regards, you have people that, yes, they actually, they find their happiness in their home, and there are people who find their happiness in their work, and there are people that find a greater purpose in both, and in working with their community and finding faith in God, and in contributing to the betterment of their society. But if you look at this story, you've got, even Lewis. Lewis is the American who was right through the whole thing. He was the one that stood up immediately and said, you're wrong about these Nazis, and you are an amateur, and you need to be a professional. And he was very clear and almost, clear-sighted on the entire thing. But at the end, he doesn't even remember what all the energy was about. He just this older guy that sort of loves the culture of the Brits, and this is great and so forth, but he doesn't seem to have an ethos that's still holding him up at the end. We look at Lord Darlington. He didn't have a family. He had this sort of mission to help the Germans, but he was the fool of the thing. He was the one that was taken in by the Nazis and caused all of the suffering that was going on, and then of course just died with nothing. Even Cardinal, which is the Hugh Grant character, he was, the idealist, the journalist. He was going to do something and work for the betterment of the society, and he died in the war, right? And then you're left at the end. Okay, well, what's left for us? What is the pigeon that they shoo out the door, right? That flies away from Darlington Hall. That's sort of like the spirit of life that you hope comes into the room. The sort of the sense of the natural and the wild. And I was sitting there wondering, okay, is this something about? Has this something to do with that tiger story? Where Stevens's father is talking about being in India and there's the tiger under the table and all of that. And I didn't really find a sense of connection between those two at the end. It just seems like you're left with just this sense of futility, and the march of time has steamrolled everybody in this story. And I sure hope that the UK hasn't fully fallen for this concept, because when you look at British history, right, they lived and developed the Age of Empire, which they were spatterings of, when they talked about the British, and they were just like, okay, well, what about all of these different foreign things and these poor simple Joes not able to understand some of these big concepts that they were working through. The Age of Empire has been beaten down into them that they were wrong the entire time, and yet the colonies that were created from the Age of Empire are doing far better than those that weren't taken over. Okay, they elevated society and they brought Christianity into pagan tribalist cultures and eliminated a lot of societal ills, a lot of humanity's ills that had gone on for centuries, from burning their wives and bearing living wives with husbands and foot binding and all kinds of other things. The civilization of the British Empire stamped out. And by the way, the transatlantic slave trade was also among those that they stamped out. Okay? But the British seem to live with this idea that they are guilty of the Age of Empire, and they are guilty of the errors of World War I and the Treaty of Versailles that created World War II, that they seem like they're given up on civilization. And that's the one thing that you absolutely cannot do. It goes back to the fact that you can sin, but there is redemption. There has to be something else that we can rise toward, because otherwise, what are we doing? Right? This is the reason why I'm saying I can't live in this world. There has to be something better than what has been portrayed in this story. As beautifully as it is, this is the part that I'm struggling with. In any event, this is Remains of the Day. I think it is excellent as a cinematic work. Obviously, it's a conversation starter. It's an excellent film. It's got a few, points that I had mentioned out, but I think that this is the kind of thing that people should be referring to more often when you're talking about not only story development, but also in why we tell stories. What are we really working toward? What sort of humanity are we trying to foster with the entertainment that we make? So, everyone has an opinion on movies. This one's mine. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you on the next one.